Hey, photographer friends and future camera nerds. Welcome to the very first episode of Frame by Frame with Photog Boss. I'm Cherry Stambaugh, photographer, educator, lover of true-to-life color, and your new creative BFF behind the lens. I've spent years capturing weddings and seniors and families and brands and events, you name it, and now I'm spilling all my secrets right here just for you. So whether you've just bought your first camera or you've been shopping for a while and you want to level up, you are in the right place. We're talking hands-on tutorials, posing tips, lighting hacks, editing tricks, gear talk, plus the real behind-the-scenes stuff that it takes to build a legit photography business from the ground up. But heads up, this isn't just some stuffy photo class. Nope, around here we keep it real. We keep it fun, and we break down the complicated stuff into bite-sized pieces that you'll actually remember, with a few cuss words in between, because photography isn't just about fancy cameras or trendy presets. It's about telling a story, your clients' stories, freezing memories in time, and making people feel something when they look at your work. That's what lights me up, and that's what I'm here to do for you, to do the same. So what you can expect on this channel is real world examples, no fluff tips that you can use today, advice from someone who's walked the walk and maybe had a few bloopers along the way, because let's be honest, nothing's perfect, and I kind of like it that way. I learn as I go. I started this channel because I remember how overwhelming it felt to learn all the things when I was starting out 13 years ago. And if I can help you feel even like 1% more confident behind the camera, that's a win in my book. So if you're ready to grow and laugh and learn and create some seriously stunning photos together, hit the subscribe button, drop your questions in the comments, and let's get started. This is Frame by Frame with Photog Boss. So let's make some photo magic. And today we're going to start at the very beginning, camera basics. So if you've ever looked at your camera, which I'm going to grab here, and thought, what the hell do all these buttons do? This episode is for you, because it's the reality check, right? Now, I shoot with the Nikon Z9 because she's a beast of a camera and totally worth it and worth every penny. I've gone through a bunch of different bodies of cameras, but all Nikon. And it doesn't really matter what camera body you're working with. It's about the fundamentals, and I'm going to share those fundamentals and how they apply. Whether you're using mirrorless or DSLR or something in between, this is your foundation. So let's break it down. It's really simple, because the goal today is for you to feel more confident just by holding your camera. Okay. So regardless of what camera you're using, there's going to be a mode section that helps you understand what mode you're in, right? So you need to know your camera, get to know your camera body. That's the number one lesson for today's episode. Get to know your damn body. Every camera is different, but most have the same pieces. You've got that mode dial. You've got a control screen. In the Z9, it's completely digital, so all of them have some kind of control screen. You've got a shutter button, which is the button that takes the photos. You've got your lens mount. You've got your viewfinder and your LCD screen. You've got a memory card slot, sometimes dual, and of course, a million other buttons that you don't need to panic about yet, because we're going to go through them in a bit. All right, take a few moments to physically hold your camera, press the buttons, flip through the menus. You're not going to break anything, I promise. Every single camera is a little bit different. Some of them have like amazing functions and tons of modes and all kinds of things. But if you're wanting to be a professional photographer, you should not be shooting in auto anymore. I know you may have some shoots lined up because you've decided to go ahead and start promoting yourself and you're still shooting in auto. I get it. I did it too 13 years ago. I was shooting in auto thinking that that was enough to make me a well-established, respected photographer in the field, and it truly wasn't. I had a lot to learn ahead of me. So if you're still shooting in auto, there's no shame, but I want to challenge you to start experimenting with your manual modes, or at least aperture mode or shutter priority mode, right? Those are A and the P in the camera dials. At least turn one of those on. Why? Because when you take control of your settings, you're telling the story. You're controlling the story, not your camera. I know it sounds scary as hell, but I promise it'll be worth it. When you're in manual mode, it gives you full control over three things. And this is the most basic takeaway that we're going to get out of this. Your shutter speed controls your motion blur, your freeze, or how fast your subject's going. So the faster your shutter speed, the more you'll be able to capture as far as someone moving quickly. Your aperture controls how blurry your background is, so like that bokeh. And then the ISO controls how sensitive your camera is to light, right? So that's the light. We're going to go way deeper into those in the future episodes, so don't stress right now, but just remember those three things work together to create your exposure. And they live in what's called the exposure triangle. So aperture, shutter, ISO. Learn them. Learn it, live it. Why I love my Z9, number 3. Because you can learn from it, right? I mentioned earlier that I shoot with the Z9, and yes, she's a powerhouse. It is mirrorless, which means there's not an actual shutter that snaps. It is full frame, which means it's not cropped. And it is built for speed, for detail, for low light performance. But what I really love about my Z9 cameras, and what you should look for in really any camera, is that custom button mapping. So obviously changing your modes, but also inside in the menus, I can shoot how I want, whether I want to shoot JPEG or RAW or fine or low quality or high quality. Also, the dual slots are really important because backups are life, especially if you're getting paid to shoot. A bright, responsive electronic viewfinder is game changing. I need to be able to look through my viewfinder, not just that one, but the big screen. It also has reliable autofocus. I mean, the eye tracking on this thing is literally witchcraft. And just because I said autofocus, that does not mean I shoot in auto. It means it tracks the eyeballs, or it tracks my subject, whether it's a plane or an animal, and it helps me focus. Now, I can do totally manual and manually focus with the ring, but that is often what I use in like the studio, or if someone's not moving quickly, or if I'm trying to get something very precise and I'm doing something a little more on the artsy side. But if I'm shooting a wedding or a family with a bunch of little kids, 99% of the time I have the eye tracking on, which is an autofocus. So you don't need a Z9 to start learning. You need to understand how the hell your camera works, and you need to practice that baby until it feels like second nature. And that's what I'm here to help you with. All right. Practice your camera. So number 4, your homework is, I said it, before the next episode, I want you to learn how to switch between shooting modes. So how to switch between auto versus shutter versus aperture priority, or even completely manual. I mean, if you could just do a few test shots. And while you're doing it, look in your screen and look at your ISO and your shutter speed and your aperture settings, and start seeing, okay, well, this picture came out pretty good. What were my settings? Ooh, this picture didn't turn out so well. What were my settings? And most importantly, start playing. Just play, because you learn by doing. So bonus points if you post a pic on Instagram and tag me at Photog Boss, because I'd love to see what you're working on. And cool thing is you can ask any questions on there. I may not have all the answers, but I'll definitely try. So that's it for today's episode. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next tutorial, where we're going to be diving deep into that exposure triangle. I'm going to have some really helpful information for you, how to use it, how to get amazing results. But if you could just start practicing now, in the next week, I promise I'm going to have more info for you. So thanks for being here. And remember, keep shooting, keep learning, keep creating. This is Frame by Frame with Photog Boss, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.